Amidst of the pandemic that we're experiencing right now, we, the Claret School of Malusu teachers and administrators are doing our best for you to learn indoors. In this new normal setting, we will focus on blended learning which consists of modular and online learning. Let us be united to successfully achieve this academic year. According to Dr. Seuss, the more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. Hi, grade 8 Claricians. Welcome to your first lesson in your science subject. Today, we will learn about Newton's three laws of motion. Do you know Isaac Newton? Isaac Newton is a scientist who lived from 1642 to 1727. Newton developed the three laws of motion. It was published in 1687. Newton is a famous mathematician known for his three-volume work called the Principia Mathematica. He set up his basic postulates concerning force, mass, and motion. Before proceeding, we have three vocabularies. One is friction, a force that opposes motion between two objects that are touching. Second is inertia, tendency of all objects to stay at rest or in motion. And the third is mass, the amount of matter an object is made of. Newton's first law of motion is the law of inertia. It tells us that an object at rest remains at rest, and an object in motion remains in motion at constant speed and in a straight line unless acted on by an unbalanced force. For example, you have an uncooked egg in your kitchen. An egg will not move on its position unless acted on by an unbalanced force. Another example. Imagine you are riding a car. A car suddenly stops and you strain against the seatbelt. Car turns left and you appear to slide to the right. Seatbelts are very important to protect our body from the effects of inertia. These are pictures of vehicular accident from a car bumping into a rig to avoid tipping over a bicycle. Not only are seatbelts are important, so as brakes from the wheel maintain friction of the tire and the ground. Newton's second law of motion is all about the acceleration. The root word of acceleration is accelerate, meaning to move faster or to gain speed. The acceleration of an object depends on the mass of the object and the amount of the force applied. We have to be familiar with the formula of acceleration, which is force is equals to mass times acceleration. We need to remember that a force, a push or pull, all forces have size and direction. Next is mass, the amount of matter an object is made of. And next is acceleration, the rate at which velocity changes, and object accelerates if its speed changes, if its direction changes, and if both speed and direction changes. Here are the examples of Newton's second law of motion. Number 1, hitting a softball. The harder the hit, the faster the ball goes. Second, football players and their positions. And lastly, loaded versus an unloaded truck. Newton's third law of motion. For every force, there is an equal and opposite force. Whenever an object exerts a force on a second object, the second object exerts an equal and opposite force on the first object. Always remember action and reaction. Here are the examples of Newton's third law of motion. Two cars hit on head. Second, jumping out of a boat onto a dock. And the third is astronauts in space. On your Activity 1 Lesson 1, the direction is choose an applicable graphic organizer that shows the comparison and the contrast of the three laws of motion. You may browse the internet for some examples. Thanks for listening. This is Mr. Eljude Nacario, your science teacher.